my name's Susan Noble and I'm here as part of the Rocky View Literacy team. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of sharing today about the practice of shared reading, how it can be supportive of students, why it's important, how it fits into our divisional balanced literacy framework, and how it can also be brought to students in an online setting. So let's dive in and have a look at the why of shared reading before we get too far into what it looks like. So you'll see shared reading exists there on the second from the left bubble as part of our balanced literacy framework and as part of our optimal learning model, or the gradual increase of student independence. It lives in sort of that we do phase, that elbow to elbow work that we're doing with our students to support them in their reading. So shared reading is a highly interactive reading experience that takes place when all students join in or share in the reading of a shared text, whether it's a big book, an enlarged text. In your online setting, maybe it's something that's shared via your screen that all students have access to. And the reading is guided and supported by an experienced expert reader, that's you, and it allows students to observe the expert reading the text with fluency and expression. So a really great time to model those things for students, along with other strategies that you use as a reader. In shared reading activities, it's really important that the text is accessible to all students, whether it's large enough for everyone to see clearly or on your screen it's available for everyone to see clearly. And through these different activities, through shared reading, the reading process and the use of targeted strategies are modeled and demonstrated for students while they participate to learn about essential concepts about reading and print. And through these activities, students can start to perceive of themselves as readers and really see how some of these activities, some of the strategies that you're modeling and starting to work with them in developing can support them in their reading lives. And so what we have for you now is a series of shared reading lessons. Here's what the plan for that looked like. I wanted to link this to our previous video on Read Aloud. So we had done the book The Good Egg, and now what we're doing is we're taking a related piece of text, and you'll see how they're related. But what we're going to do is I like to call it wring it dry. We're going to wring it dry and really look at the text through many different lenses that a reader might look at a text through, sort of breaking it down into a number of tasks that we will complete over the course of 4 or 5 days here. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get those videos going for you to have a look at what shared reading might look like for you in a virtual setting. Hey, grade 4s and 5s. Today we are going to be having a look at this article for our shared reading activity called Feathered Friends, Study Shows Selfless Parrots Helping Peers. And I thought this was a really great connection to our read aloud from yesterday, The Good Egg, not only because parrots hatch from eggs, but just that whole idea, that theme of selflessness. And I know that The Good Egg yesterday saw a lot of his actions or their actions as being selfless. And this article is about how selflessness may come naturally to creatures in the wild. So what we're going to start with today is before even reading, we're going to do what's called at first glance. And what that means is we're going to have a quick through. We're not going to read the article until the end of this lesson. We're going to instead take a look at some of the text features that are appearing as we do a quick scroll through the article. So those are going to be things that you're going to watch for. And what I'll do is I'll put them in the chat so that you've got a record of what we're looking for. But you're going to Okay, you're going to take a look at things like titles, and you're going to look for things like photos or images. You're going to look for things like headings, bolded or italicized text, okay, any links that appear, and then just like how the text is organized. So how is the text organized on the page? Thinking about some of the work that you've done this year and last year with respect to some of your writing tasks and activities. Okay, think about what you know and what you're seeing here, and make some comparisons. All right, so what we're going to do, those things are all in the chat for you to consider as we scroll through. You're welcome to just watch me as I scroll through, or if you'd like, you can go to Newsela and log in using your Google account information, and you've got this article sitting there waiting for you to read as well. Okay, and again, we're just doing at first glance. We're not reading. If you do that on your own, please don't read ahead of us, but because we're going to do a little bit of work with the text before actually diving in. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to scroll through 2 times and have a look for those things that are listed in the chat there. As you start to notice things, go ahead and write them into the chat. We won't speak to this one just because everyone will notice things in their own time, but please go ahead and write them into the chat as you notice things that are perhaps expected or maybe are surprising to you about what you see in this text. Yeah, that's right. There is a caption below the picture there. Really good eye. Yes. That's right. There aren't a lot of paragraphs being shown, are there? I should say there are a lot of paragraphs, maybe more paragraphs with fewer words than what we're used to seeing. Even like this line right here, right? That's a very short paragraph. And this one, right? In a lot of the reading that we've been doing in this kind of form so far, the text has been grouped into maybe bigger chunks than it is here. Yeah, those headings, and they're bolded. What else do you notice about the headings? That could be a sentence, but there's no punctuation, is there? That's right. What about, yes, absolutely. It's written like a title. Every letter is capitalized, or sorry, every first letter of each word is capitalized. All right. So one more thing we're going to do, you guys did really well with that. One more thing we're going to do before we actually read the text itself is we're going to have a look at the headings and make some predictions. So I'm just going to copy the headings here. Copy. Paste them into a Word document, and then I'm going to send you into breakout groups. I'll put these in the chat as well, but I just want to put them here for us to look at all together first. Okay, there we go. So these are sort of the main headings of the article, and without having read it, I'm going to put you into breakout groups of about 4 or 5, and you're going to make some predictions about this text, what the text or the article is going to be about based on these headings. Okay, so again, I'll put those in the chat for you. And so you should have access to those when we are in our breakout rooms, and I'll be popping in and out of your rooms to listen to the conversation. Thanks a lot, everyone. We'll see you in those rooms. Good morning again, grade 4s and 5s. We're on to our second day with this article. I know yesterday you did an at first glance read and had a look and made some predictions about some of the headings that we saw. Today what you're going to do is we're going to read the article together, and I'm going to ask everybody who has the letter A in their first name to turn on their microphone so that we can hear everybody reading together. Okay? I may mute you all if that becomes a bit too much, but I'd like to kind of see what that sounds like. We're going to just test it out today. If I mute you, please don't be offended. It's just that it's become too many voices all at once, and I will have to think of another way to try that. But I do want to, I'll be looking to see and make sure that you are all reading and at least moving your mouths as we go through the article. Okay, and doing your best as we go. There may be words that you find tricky or parts of the article that you find tricky, and don't hesitate to pause, take a break, and join in with us at the next heading, okay, or the next line, wherever you're able to find us and pick up. Okay, let's get started. Scientists found that gray parrots help others complete tasks. It was the first study to show that birds display such selfless behavior. Here's where we are. All right, let's start at the beginning of this line. However, okay, and we'll pause here for a second. Okay, parrots did not pass rings for fun. All right, let's go. Far fewer rings were passed between. Handing things over to members of the same species is one of the things they do, she said. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Now, I'm wondering if there were some tricky words that we came across in here. I stumbled a couple of times and there were some challenging or unexpected words. This one for me was challenging, bonobos. And I've heard that word before. I don't know that I've read it before. So I'm gonna go through and highlight what color should we use today for that. We'll do yellow, okay? The yellow words are going to be our new words. Just maybe if you want to type in the chat or put up your hand and you can share. I wanna hear from you. Why don't you put up your hand and I'll call on you and you can unmute your mic and maybe share some of the words with us that were either challenging or interesting. Okay. Unselfish, you like? Sure. For those, we'll make them green. The ones that you thought were interesting. Okay. Anything else? What's which word? What does this word mean? That's macaw. So a macaw is a type of bird. Let's look up macaw while we're here. Might as well. Right? Macaw. So these beautiful colored birds here are different species of macaw. Have you seen those kinds of birds before? So the birds in our article were parrots. And this sentence here is talking about a contrast between the macaw and the parrots that we were reading about. Yeah, excellent. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. I will leave you with this article on your own now, and I'd like you to go through and find at least 5 words from here that you thought were interesting. Go through in your own Newsela accounts. We logged in yesterday. Remember using your Google account information, you can do that. And using the tools as you click and highlight with your cursor, these tools will pop up along the side, and you can please highlight at least 5 interesting or new words to you, and I'll go in and have a little peek at how you did with that later on today. Good morning, my friends. We are back for our 3rd day with this article, Feathered Friends, Study Shows Selfless Parrots Helping Peers. And we're going to take a little bit of what we did yesterday with using the annotation tools, the highlighters, and there's actually, I don't know if you noticed, but in those same tools, there's a little note tool. So you can highlight and write little notes. Okay, so what we're going to do with that today is we're going to get into groups in our breakout rooms. You're going to log into Newsela and go find your document that's in there. And you're going to, together in your groups, talk about and come up with 5 fun facts from the article that you think would, there's a lot of information in this article, so what are sort of the 5 things that stand out to you as a group as being sort of the most important takeaways or most important facts that the author was trying to convey? So you're going to, like I said, I'll put you in breakout rooms. You're going to log into your Newsela through using your Google information, and you're going to use the tools. You can decide whatever color you want, probably not yellow or green because we've used those on your document already, but maybe choosing the blue or red. Please go through and talk about it as a group, have a look at the article again, and come up with those 5 things and highlight them. And then what we'll do tomorrow is you're going to go back into those same breakout groups and you'll talk about, or actually, I have a better idea. Tomorrow I'm going to put you into different breakout groups and you're going to talk about why you chose the 5 facts with the group you had yesterday, the group you had today. Sorry, so today you're going to take this and find your 5 facts, and then tomorrow you're going to defend those 5 fun facts to a group of other peers. Okay, so here we go into your breakout rooms. I'll be in the chat if you need and popping in and out throughout. See you in a bit. Hey, grade 4s and 5s. So we're on our 4th day with this article, and today, as promised yesterday, you're going to be sent into different breakout groups. I've had sort of recorded who you were with yesterday, and I will do my best to make sure that there isn't an overlap of people from the groups yesterday in the groups today. What I'd like you to do is everybody take a turn sharing which the 5 fun facts were that your group had decided on from the article, and then you're going to explain why, okay? And I'm curious to know if people came up with very similar fun facts or if you all found very different fun facts. So please, what you're going to do is you're going to go into your breakout groups, have those discussions for about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll kind of pop in and out of your rooms to see how everyone's doing with their discussions. And then we will come back to sort of share back to the group how similar or different the fun facts were. Alrighty, please remember to be respectful of your group members and to take turns. And if it's not your turn to speak, please mute your mic to eliminate any background noise in those small group settings. Okay, I'll see you in your breakout rooms and enjoy the conversation with each other. Welcome back. So that's what what shared reading could possibly look like using a single text over the course of a number of days and having students look at it through different lenses, having them play with the text, having them make predictions, make connections with the text, having them identify some key vocabulary, some tricky vocabulary as well, maybe pulling those words out and doing a bit of word work with them as another possible extension that could have been added on there as well. We wanted to share this document here, or this is just a piece of a document that we'll link the full document in the comments for you, but just some ideas of things, different tasks, different things you could do with your students with shared reading text, and some ways that you can engage with your kids through your digital classroom, ways for them to have fun with the text and to really have some of those key strategies and reading behaviors modeled for them. Just to reiterate some of those benefits of shared reading one more time, students can enjoy materials that they may not be able to read on their own through shared reading activities. And we can ensure through these sorts of activities that students feel successful by providing support to when we provide the support to the whole group. Students can act as though they are reading the text, even though it may be a little bit more challenging than what they're used to or able to read on their own. But it helps to give them confidence to try some of those new strategies and to make attempts at reading some of these more challenging texts in a really supported setting. So these are just some things to consider when planning your shared reading activities, planning your shared reading tasks with your students, or with your students in mind, I should say, and remembering it can be a lot of fun. There are a lot of opportunities for sort of breakouts and group work within these tasks as well. So I think that's it. We will sort of end there for today, but please check back. We've got other videos in the works about other components of our balanced literacy framework and how they can connect to the online classroom. If you are a YouTube fan, please like and subscribe to our video, subscribe to our channel. Julie and I are here to support you. So beyond this video, please reach out to us, contact us. We're happy to be partners in your planning for your literacy instruction online. And we hope to talk with you soon.